Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. This is the works of King James the First or the Sixth, depending on whether it was Scotland or the UK. And it's really cool. Let's go into this. Now, I usually, when I read the works of King James himself, people don't realize he was quite the theologian. I think he knew 7 languages by the time he was like 8 years old or something. He was very learned. He was raised under strict Puritanism, some off branch of that, like your John Knox, just type. It wasn't John Knox, but type. Just very strict in all this, and but he was very learned. He'd already, by the time he was 7 or 8, he had done a translation of the Psalms. I mean, I'm talking about he was the Solomon of Christendom, as they called him. So he's very brilliant. He gets a bad rap in a lot of ways, not rap like rap, but okay. And so the name of this is a royal rhetorician, which is what he was. It's edited by R.S. Rafe. So let's get started. But I normally read his works online. I don't know what year this was printed. I didn't look that up. A royal rhetorician, like rhetoric. Actually, this was written in 1900, and it's got a little page that's fallen out with a picture of King James. One of the reasons he gets a bad rap in history is he had an oversized tongue. And so because of that, he tended to slobber. And so people just naturally assumed he was stupid when he was very brilliant. Secondly, some of the things, we won't go into whether he's homosexual or not. Costin has written a book proving pretty much he wasn't, but how, they just kissed in those days. Men kissed. I've been in cultures, like I've got Cuban relatives, and it kind of, I'm not Cuban. Even the first time they ever come up and kiss you on the cheek, and had a friend that was Italian. First thing it's like, what's going on? I was doing ministry in Nepal. The first time a guy grabs your hand, Holy Ghost filled, and you walk through the streets, it's like, but that's just a sign of friendship. It's like, we're just raised different. And so, that's some of the reason he gets a bad rap, is because of culture and because he had an oversized tongue. But, so a treatise on Scotus Poesy, a counterblast to tobacco. And so again, I normally read this stuff online, and it's done by Robert Raitt, Fellow of College. I'm going to tell you, New College. It looks like the print's pretty small. And so a short treatise on Scotus, like Scottish, and that print's too small, I can't read. And a counterblast to tobacco, which I really love reading a counterblast to tobacco. It's just really good. And then he's got extracts from estates, or a treatise in the divine art of poesy, and extracts from the Psalms of King David, translated by King James, and a list of King James' chief writings. Of course, his demonology is the reason witches have traditionally said he's their chief opponent, because he wrote, it's pretty fascinating reading that. I read that online. I don't think I ever finished it, but it was just fascinating reading it, starting at the beginning and going through. Just absolutely amazing on that. Wrote some like on the divine right of kings and all this. But it is in kind of old English. So the counterblast to tobacco, I love this too. Because like in the United Pentecostal Church I belong to, you can't be a member if you do tobacco. Thus, having, as I trust, sufficiently answered the most principal arguments that are used in defense of this vile custom, it rests only to inform you what what sins and vanities you commit in the filthy abuse thereof. First, are you not guilty of sinful and shameful lust? For lust may be as well as any seems as in feeling. I mean, that's just amazing. That although you be troubled with no disease, but in perfect health, you can neither be merry at an ordinary nor lascivious in the stews, if you lack tobacco to provoke your appetite to any of these sorts of recreation, lusting after it, as the children of Israel did in the wilderness after quail. Also, in his Basilicon Doron, his letters to his son, who died pretty young. Another thing, like people, say he's homosexual and stuff, I'm like, dude had 12 kids. Catherine and Mary, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of a weird thing. So Basilicon Doron's worth reading too. So is Erasmus, the Enchiridion, the Manual of the Christian Soldier kind of thing. So a royal rhetorician, James the Sixth and the First. Glad I got this. And I'm kind of looking in hard copy. I've got some stuff, but like the complete works of King James. And I think it's been printed in times past, but I don't know. Good stuff. God bless. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.